This is our Jagdpanzer 38, also known as the Hetzer. After fighting in the German army during World War II, it was taken by the Swiss army and converted into a G13. Decades later, it made its way into Bruce Crompton's workshop, where combat dealer twins Nick and Phil took it back to its original Hetzer condition. Now, it sits in pride of place at the Australian Armour and Artillery Museum's Wehrmacht Hall. It's a beautiful, all-original running vehicle, but it needs a little bit of attention after AusArmour Fest this year.
We're doing a bit of work on the Hetzer, and we're going to make use of Nick and Phil while they're still here. There's a few adjustments with the pre-selector gearbox and also the engine tune that needs to be looked at. Nick and Phil in there. Can imagine how squeezy this would be with an extra two blokes in it, huh?
It's kind of looking like we're going to have to dismantle a lot more than we thought.
Because I'm sure it's going to get warm in there soon.
Oh, that's better.
But what we're having to do in here is jiggle the gun around enough to get access to the transmission. And you've already got the elevation gearbox out of the way, which is handy. There we go. All right. Oh, it's got some gravity to it. So this cover plate's got to come off. Got to get the gear shifter off. So
that reveals most of the adjustment underneath.
Okay.
What makes this transmission so interesting is that it's actually British designed and was quite common in commercial lorries and buses all throughout Europe. It's called a pre-selector gearbox, and it has a really unique way of changing gears.
Real Wallace and Gromit engineering. It's called a pre-selector because you can shift this to any position that you basically want, but it won't actually go into that gear until you go ahead and hit this big thing here, which is the change pedal. If we go to the first gear position, push the change pedal, it's coming forward and engaging. You can see that the pedal is roughly sitting in line with that bolt. When we go to select reverse from neutral, you can see that the change pedal fires you sort of backwards from the seat with quite a bit of force. We're a long way away from the bolt down there, so that's a symptom of bad adjustment. So the fix for this is to adjust the preload on this. We do it with this nicely made special tool. Just pop this spring off, tension spring, make it a bit easier to turn. Now it's super sensitive, it doesn't actually take a lot turning. So I've probably gone about 3/4 of a turn there. Pop the tension spring back on. Recenter the flipper. Change pedal is now almost in line with the bolt on the side of the hull there, and it's no longer pushing, trying to launch you back out of the seat. We're making great progress here actually, solved some issues, and we're going to put the thing back together again and test it. So just park this out of the way.
I've wiped it round, I don't know, that's clean, isn't it?
I think that's good enough. Okay. Okay, case covers on, all the bolts are torqued. Feels good.
How many of you are in there?
One less than there should be.
Three.
Yeah, it's room for one more. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I'll stay.
Yeah.
It's way too cozy.
Finished putting in the traverse, and now the next job for us to do is to put the gun back down in its normal position and engage the travel lock so that it's not unnecessarily stressing everything when we're driving it around.
Other way. Right, down a bit more. Yeah.
Done. Finished bolting together the traversing mechanism and the guns back in its with travel lock engaged. So we're sort of done with the big mechanical stuff. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity to just stop and marvel a little bit at the quality of the restoration done inside here, and to sort of give you a bit of an idea of what it maybe look like with a warload of ammunition in it as well too. Looking back from the driver's position, so I'm actually sitting in the driver's seat, crawling over the very gunner's position, and commander, I guess they're position 2. And pop our head out. Next job, tune up the engine, adjust the idle speed, get it running a bit better. Here we've got the main access hatch to get to the engine, because this is one of the 2 carburetors that we need to play around with the idle settings to get it to idle a bit lower. The carbies are pretty simple. It's just 2 single barrel carbs. Got an idle mixture here, and this is actually a full throttle stop, so that stops the butterfly from going over centre when you go to full throttle. So as far as I can tell, when it comes to adjusting idle speed of the carburetor, we're only looking at adjusting this link rod here. And I've just slackened off the lock screw that connects the 2 different carbs together. The idea being we start it up so that we can adjust both of them separately, so that they're both contributing evenly to the idling of the engine, and we can then also do the idle mixture adjustment as well. Let's see if we can start. Yep, go for it. Pretty good. We've lowered the idle speed so it's more manageable to manoeuvre and steering beautifully going forwards. First, second and third's good. We didn't have that issue with reverse with the change pedal jumping back at you. Wishing the twins a safe trip back to the UK, and looking forward to seeing them again next year.